morning, dear viewers. Welcome to Lesson 3 of Entrepreneurship Grade 9 NAMCO series. This is Miss Gabriel, and I'll take you guys through today's lesson. We are discussing Theme 3. Our lesson objectives for today are: at the end of this lesson, you must be able to explain the importance of bookkeeping and documentation in a business enterprise. Also, record cash transactions in the receipts and payments account. First of all, before we can look at the importance of bookkeeping and documentation in an enterprise, let us define bookkeeping. What comes to your mind when you hear of bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is a system of recording the flow of money in and out of the business accurately and filling in all of the important documents information. These are some of the following examples of business documents: letters, the payslip, the invoice, bank statement, quotation, etc. Importance of bookkeeping. When enterprises record the money that flows into and out of the business, they know exactly how much they have spent, when they have spent the money, and on what they have spent the money. It is also very important because it helps to prevent money from disappearing. It helps the business to determine the profit or losses in an enterprise. It is also very important because it helps to control the debtors or the creditors of an enterprise, and also help to record the purchasing and the selling of stock, which serves as proof of sale or purchase. Let us look at the receipts and payment account. Receipts and payment account is a book of first entry journal where all business receipts, the money received, and all the business payments are recorded. All cash receipts are recorded on the left side of the receipts and payment account, which is called the debit side, and all the cash payments are recorded by date on the right hand as credit side. The difference between the left and the right side shows the balance of cash on hand, which should be a net debit balance if cash is positive. That means favorable. There are a few examples of the type of cash receipts entry. Example: owner depositing capital, money received from sales of goods or services, money earned from the bank for interest, rent received, commission received, and many others. Example of cash payments include owner taking cash for personal use, paying for expenses, buying assets, paying debts, and many others. The receipts and payments account has these kinds of columns. Doc for document. This is the reference number of a source document. Day. The day of the month of which the transaction was made. Details. The details of the person or enterprise from which the money is received. Amount. The amount of cash that is received or paid out. Let us then move on to our second lesson objective, which is record cash transactions in the receipts and payments account. Firstly, the receipt and payment account is a book or a computer program in which we record all the cash or money that comes into an enterprise and all the cash or money that goes out of the enterprise. Receipts. This is the money the business earns. Example: sales, current income, services rendered, commission received, interest received, and many others. Payment refers to the amount of money paid out of the business, such as paying expenses or buying assets. Example: use the following transactions to draw up a simple receipts and payment account. The following information was taken from the books of Kelionge Hair Salon for April 2019. You are requested to draw up a simple receipts and payments account. Transactions. On the first day of April, Ms. Gabriel started a salon under the name Kelionge Salon and deposited 20,000 into the bank account of the business as her capital contribution. On the 2nd of April, the business purchased hair products of 8,000. On the 2nd of April, the business paid rent of 3,000. On the 4th of April, the business paid trading license for 550. On the 6th of April, the business received 1,500 from the sales of hair products. On the 9th of April, the business bought the salon equipment worth 3,500. On the 10th of April, services were rendered, 2,500 was received. On the 13th of April, the business paid water and electricity, 800. On the 20th of April, the business received 1,500 for the hair done. On the 22nd of April, purchases of salon materials, 7,500. On the 25th of April, commission was received, 4,000. On the 26th of April, the business received 10,550 for services rendered. And on the 29th of April, the business paid salaries of 10,000. I'll now give you the solution of the receipts and payments account of Keliwonge Hair Salon for April 2019. We have the receipts, the debit side, and we have the payments, that is the credit side. On the 1st of April, Miss Gabriel started her business with a capital of 20,000. That's why you see on the date, the 1st of April, the details is capital and the amount is 20,000. On the payment side, on the 2nd of April, the business purchased goods, and that is purchases 8,000. On the same date, the business paid for rent, which is worth 3,000. That's why you see on the date is the 2nd and the details is rent, while the amount is 3,000. On the 4th, the business paid for a trading license, and the amount is 5,500. On the 6th, the business received current income for the services rendered, that is 1,500. On the 9th, the business bought an equipment on the credit side. That's why you see on the date is the 9th, the details is equipment, and the amount is 3,500. On the 10th, the business received current income for the services rendered, that is 2,500. On the 13th, the business paid for water and electricity. That's why you see on the date is the 13th, the details is water and electricity, and the amount is 800 according to the transaction. On the 22nd of April, the business purchased materials for the hair products, and they paid 7,500. On the 25th of April, the business received commission received. That's why in the details you see commission received, the date the 25th, and the amount is 4,000. On the 26th, the business received current income for the services rendered, amounting 10,500. And on the 29th of April, the business paid the salaries, that is worth 10,000. If you take all the income that the business has received minus all the payments, it gives you a balance of a profit that is 6,650. Sometimes you may be asked to separately complete the cash receipts journal and a cash payments journal. This is how a separate cash receipts or cash payments account look like. The cash receipts journal for you write the name of the business and the type of the book it is. It has the following columns: doc for document, day for the date, details, analysis of the receipt, the bank, current income, sundry account, where we have the details and the amount columns. Let us explain these columns in the cash receipt journal. Doc is for the reference number of the source document. The day, that is the date of the month of which the transaction was made. The details, that is the details of the person or the enterprise from which it is received. Analysis of the receipt. It is basically the amount of cash received before it is deposited. The bank column is for recording the total amount deposited into the bank account at the end of the day. The current income column is for the money received for providing a service. This is the common transaction in the business, therefore it has its own column. If the enterprise receives money for anything other than the current income, it is entered in the sundry account. Here the amount, the folio number, and the details are listed. Let us look at the example of a cash payment journal. The type of the journal and the name of the enterprise is always on top, or you can call it the title of the journal. It has the doc, the day, the details, the bank, expenses, wages, and the sundry account, which is the amount and the details column. Let us explain the columns in the payments journal. The doc is the reference number of the source document. Day, the day of the month of which the transaction was made. Details, the details of the person or enterprise that the enterprise is paying. Bank, the amount paid. Expenses, the amount of cash deposited in the bank. The wages, the amount paid for wages. And the sundry account, it records various other cash payments. Did you enjoy that? Well, I hope you did, because that concludes our lesson for today. But before we leave, let us summarize on what we have discussed today. We have learned that it is very important to bookkeep in an enterprise because when enterprises record the money that flows into and out of the business, they know exactly how much they have spent, when they have spent the money, and on what they have spent the money. It also helps to prevent money from disappearing. It helps the business to determine the profit and losses in an enterprise. It is also very important to help control the debtors and the creditors, and also to record the purchasing and selling of stock, which serves as proof of sale or purchase. The receipt and payment account is a journal book of entry that records all the money that flows in and out of the business. We also said that all income received is recorded on the debit side, showing an increase in profit, while all the payments made by the business are recorded on the credit side, showing a reduction in profit. We have then recorded the cash transaction in the receipts and payments account. As for your homework, explain the importance of bookkeeping and documentation in business enterprise, and use the following information to draw up a cash receipts and payment account. Roland's Candle sells a range of candles at a market in Benduk. The following transactions are as at March 2018. On the 1st of March, bought candles from Candle Imperium for 1,200. On the 2nd of March, they bought paint from the painted wall for 300. On the 2nd again, they invested 35,000 in the enterprise as startup capital. On the 7th, the owner took out a loan from the bank for 20,000 and they issued a receipt of 002. On the 7th, the business paid Ella 1,200 in wages. On the 14th, the business received 8,000 from BDF companies for sales of candles. They issued a receipt number 003. On the 22nd of March, the business paid 200 for stationery. On the 24th of March, the business paid 500 for advertising. Please do the activity. So grade 9, goodbye till we meet again. Please take care.